I just wanted to come on here and give a follow-up response to Troyal Family's video about, vibrating higher, and for us as a people. And the first thing I wanted to say is that, I mean, this isn't, she already knows this, that just re-emphasize how on the money she is in terms of to make a change and to secure your freedom, to create your freedom. It's done at the energetic level. So, where she's coming from and where she's suggesting to put the focus is dead on. Couldn't be more right than that. Because it is at that level that you have power, that everyone has power in terms of making change toward what you would love to have in your life. Everyone is using their power anyways. It's either through construction, creation, or destruction. So, in her talk that she had, she brought this picture up here, and I want to go through that a little bit and just make some other additions and add some clarity in terms of really understanding energy and what it does and how it affects your life. Okay, and then you can begin to get an understanding of why it is so important. The best thing that you can do in your life is to increase your, well, let me put it in her words, your vibration. Now, what I mean by increased vibration, I'm meaning that the more and more your state of being is within being unconditionally accountable, responsible, all right, the quote unquote higher your vibration, the quote unquote more you are in that energy of love, that God energy, so to speak. Now, just another foundation again, there are two types of energy that you are using moment to moment to influence what it is that you're experiencing, influence or even manifest what it is that you experience in your life. That is either anger, fear, all right, or it is through being unconditionally accountable and responsible, all right, and that is the same energy as quote unquote love. Now, I don't say love because we all have, most of us have a distorted idea of love, all right, in terms of what that is. That vibrationally, all right, what I'm speaking of, it is the same as being unconditionally accountable and responsible. Now, let's look at what I want to do is just kind of look at this chart and just give you a basic foundation of how that fits into everything, into how we manifest and into how we create. Now, if you look on this side of the chart, the right-hand side, you can see, ego attachment, illusion, lies, grief, shame, guilt, fear, okay? And on the other side, the left, cosmic energy, insight, truth, love, willpower, pleasure, survival. These words, I'm not a huge fan of these specific words because there's people have different what do you call viewpoints on these words, different connotations in their own filtering and their own experience of these words. Because some people think, can see survival as as a fear-based thing. Okay, some people can see um, willpower in a way as force. Okay, instead of allowance, it's forcing, because I'm going to get things done through my willpower. So instead of allowing the universe to guide you, you are forcing your way. You are forcing what you think it should be like or should look like. So that's another topic. So, but the bottom line is, it's these are energies that are more in being unconditionally accountable and responsible. Okay. We can say with willpower, we can change that to commitment. All right. That would be more in alignment with the energy of being unconditional, accountable, and responsible. Um, and we can say, change survival to, trust and faith. All right. So I think that those terms would be in more aligned and have less conflict on a subconscious level, in your mind. So, anyways, one of the things that she said is that the True Royal Family said is that you can you can as you go up these levels, all right, um, you free yourself from karma. There are different interpretations of karma, and I think the one that she is referring to is the interpretation of, karma is like a punishment. It's if you do bad, then you're going to receive bad. And so, as you can see, as you come all the way up here, and then cosmic energy and things, it's like, well, you can't be in bad with cosmic energy. And the thing is, the way that I look at karma at a purely energetic level, a base energetic level, is what you create from, you experience in your life. Karma is an agreement you make with yourself before you come here so that you know what energy you are creating from. Karma is a way of showing you where you are at in your consciousness. So if you are in the energy of being unconditionally accountable and responsible, all right, you will experience ease, grace, and abundance because that is what those energies create. If you are in the energy of anger, fear, okay, judgment, blame, guilt, shame, that type, you're going to experience loss, lack, and illness. Those are what those energies create. So it's like I don't want you to see karma as a bad thing. It's like something to fear, something to be afraid of, and something to escape from. It's like look at it as something to show you where you are at, because you can only change when you're in the truth. All right, the truth sets you free. If you don't know where you are, if you don't know the truth of your situation, you don't know what to do next. It's like somebody blindfolding you, spinning you around 50 times, putting you in a box, and so you can't hear or see anything. And then 10 hours, 12 hours later, they just take you out, dump you out someplace, and then say goodbye, find your way back, and then they take off. If you don't know where you are, okay, even if they gave you a map and left you a map, that wouldn't help you because you don't know where you are on that map. Okay, so you can look at karma as saying, as telling you where you are on the map, so you know what direction to go into. That's your first step. Okay, which do I need to go, north, south, east, west to get back? Okay, that's have look at karma as showing you you know where you are, so you know what direction to go. So I just wanted to give that clarity in terms of karma, because we're always going to experience karma. We're never going to. It's not something you can escape from because it's an agreement you made with yourself when you came here. So, however, it will look different, okay, when you are operating from unconditional accountability and responsibility, uh, as opposed to if you were operating from anger, fear. So karma will look different. So in some cases, I mean, if we're thinking of karma as bad things happening to you, you think you've escaped it, when those things aren't happening to you anymore. But no, you haven't. Okay? It's just appearing, it's presenting itself in a completely different way. So there's something else that I wanted to say in regards to that. Well, if it comes up again, then I'll share that with you. So Now, in terms of these different levels, okay, you can begin looking at it as at each level, all right, you can exist in this level, like you can exist in the first chakra, either through being unconditionally accountable and responsible, or through being, um, through anger, fear. All right. So if you're existing in the second chakra, the same. So if you're existing in being unconditionally accountable and responsible, then you're going to experience more pleasure in your life. If not, you're going to experience more guilt. Okay. And again, with guilt comes loss, lack, illness, struggle, stress. With pleasure comes more grace, ease, abundance. All right. And so each of these levels can be operated, you can operate through anger, fear, or being unconditionally accountable and responsible. So that's kind of when you see what people's lives are like, how they're living, then you can see what energy they're using to motivate their decisions. They're either being motivated through anger, fear, or they're being motivated through being unconditionally accountable and responsible. So I just wanted to share that. Now, in relationship to systematic white supremacy, because that's what she related it to, and in terms of what we're seeing today and how we are being, what's freeing ourselves from that. There's a number of different forces that are coming together in regards to that as well. We're leaving, one of the things is that systematic white supremacy is, and when I sit back and just kind of look at the complexity of everything that's been created and how it's been completely designed to have control and manipulation over, okay, for non-whites, over whites. All right, that's why it's called systematic white supremacy, okay, because it's designed to put whites at the top. That is a purely based control and manipulation based system. Control and manipulation comes from fear. Okay, they are afraid of, it's almost like a genetic level fear that white people have of non-white, especially black people. Okay, it's like a genetic level. It's almost like doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. Whatever it is whatever it is. So, based on that deep level of fear, this is what's been created, systematic white supremacy. And that's designed to control every aspect of, you know, your life, especially black people. Psychologically, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, every aspect. Now, another thing that I want to share too is when something is created through fear, okay, through anger, fear, it can be extremely powerful, but it does not last. It cannot be held up forever, and there is an end point to it. What we're beginning to see is the end point. One of the things that has held up systematic white supremacy for so long is that black people have been trained to buy into and support the system. What's one of the things that they've done? Okay, let's look back in slavery times. When we were taught Christianity, we were taught this forgiveness, okay, that we forgive whatever they do to us. It doesn't matter, we forgive, all right? That's not a responsible, an accountable and unconditional response to that, to having something happen to you. Okay, like so like for instance, the KKK would slaughter your a family member, and you'd be like, oh, I forgive, I forgive. That's not a responsible, and accountable, and unconditional response to that happening. Okay, an accountable, unconditional, and responsible response would be, all right, because I don't want to be tied to this incident for the rest of my life. I want to be free from it. I'm not going to judge you for what you did. You did what you did. You are where you are in your psyche, in your consciousness, and as a result, that's what you do is the result of where you are in your consciousness. I'm not going to judge that. However, I am going to hold you fully accountable and responsible for what you have done. I'm not, so to speak, forgetting in the sense of I'm letting you off the hook. No, I am holding you accountable psychically and in the spirit realm and the physical realm, all of that, for what you did, and you must make amends. Okay? That's the appropriate response. So you don't have to. So they taught you a twisted form. Okay, they taught slaves a twisted form of forgiveness. Basically, the bottom line is forgiveness is so you can free yourself from what happened. But it's not to let them off the hook, so to speak, to continue that behavior over and over and over again. Okay, because that's not holding them responsible. So that's one example. There's plenty of things that were trained into us during that time of slavery, trained into our ancestors that have been passed down through the generations, that subconsciously cause us, okay, let me put it this way, that subconsciously, in our subconscious, we support that system. Okay, so they knew what they were doing in terms of enslave the mind. All right, so as long as you are supporting that system, okay, you're holding it up, you're keeping it going, because there's a part of you that is saying that I'm receiving something out of this. I'm receiving something out of this system. So I'm going to keep it going. And so that's what's been done. That's why it has lasted as long as it's lasted. So that is why the biggest thing that you can do, all right, to free yourself, free your people, is to, as an individual, is to release yourself, is to wake up and begin to be more and more in the energy of being unconditionally accountable and responsible. Because the more of us that do that, the fewer of us that is holding that system up. And as as the sister said, True Royal Family said, it doesn't have to be all of us. But there's enough, because as we, as individuals, raise our energy and divest ourselves from that system, and divest ourselves from attachment, any attachment to that system. That's what raising, another aspect of raising our consciousness is we are divesting ourselves from attachment to that system, so that we can truly say, all right, where I stand today, I no longer am, what I am receiving from this system, systematic white supremacy, okay, is no longer serving me where I'm at today. And as more and more of us do that, we're not putting the energy into having it maintained. And as we, ourselves shift our energy, we'll begin to influence the others around us, because we are all energetic beings. And where we are in our consciousness influences those that are around us, as those that are around us influence us as well. Okay, so the more of us that do it, the more of us that can support those who may need a little bit more, support, all right, because that's just where they are in their consciousness, okay? So, begin to take hold of the fact that you are waking up, the responsibility that brings, that you are one of the first, you are one to shine the light and to hold the light and to be the light that others are drawn to, so that they can begin to see within the light, and then they can begin to be their own light, and that light just becomes brighter and brighter and brighter, okay? Because we can see it beginning to fall apart. It can't, in the energy that it was created in, it can't last. It just can't, it's not, it goes against the laws of energy. It can't last. And we're beginning to see that. And as we begin to see that, more and more of us are waking up and we're withdrawing our energetic support in maintaining that system. All right. So it's not about judging what they're doing, judging where they're at. That level of fear that they have of us, they can't do anything but what they're doing right now, because that's what that level of fear creates. I mean, that fear is so freaking deep; it's in their DNA. So that the only thing is, that they could do is create a system of white supremacy. Okay, the only thing they could do is create destruction around the world, because that's what that does. That's what that fear and anger does. It can't create anything else. It just can't. So for us to escape for that and not be at the effect of it, okay, is for us to not be in that energy of anger, fear. And when you look at the things that we see in the news all the time, what does that do? It gets us angry, it makes us angry, it gets us pissed off, it makes us feel helpless and hopeless, and that's what they want with that. That's what they want. So it's to look and step back, take a breath, all right, and say, okay, what can I do to further release any attachment I have on this system? All right, because once you release the attachment, that system can't affect you anymore, because you are not in the energy that system can reach you, that system can have any effect on you. And so you just to trust that is the way to free yourself, is to be fully invested in that energy, in the energy of unconditional accountability and responsibility. Okay. Um, and that's really all I wanted to say. Um, oh, I did say something else too. Again, that there's a lot of things at play with the energies. We're moving out of the Piscean age. Okay, and that Piscean age has to do with hierarchy. I'm over you in terms of power. I have power over you, and that type of thing. And that's what systematic white supremacy is, in a nutshell as well. And it's moving into the Aquarian energies, and that's another reason why people are waking up, is because the energy is beginning to influence that and allow people to see more clearly where they truly are and what's truly going on and how to free themselves from it. So that's really all I wanted to say. And if you like the video, please, like, comment, subscribe, share it with others. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.